welcome yet to another review. Okay, this is Wednesday. So we're going to look at a few live review or a few live trading recap. Firstly, it's important to know why we do this and why. Well, firstly, I believe those on our platforms are already going through a mentorship section from our academy. So firstly, I always portray or emphasize on the need for having a particular trading time frame. Having a particular trading time frame, that is the durations or the times you clock in and then you clock out. It's important for your mastery, doing something repeatedly over and over and over and over and over and again in a particular area. At the point that becomes sanctified. You've made that particular time frame sacred for you. At a point you gain some level of capacity that you're looking at your chart and then you already know what's happening before it does. You're already familiar with the moves in those time frames. So that is the reason why we emphasize on having a particular time frame for one who wants to be a disciplined trader. So that is for that. So basically, we're going to look at a bit of review on what we had today in our live section. I do this a lot to help you explain some psychological hurdles or give some psychological meanings, or we explain some psychological price movement in price, all right, on the chart, to having a more of basic understanding around that. So firstly, I'll begin with this demand level here. So you already should be familiar with my trading window. I trade 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. All right, Nigerian time, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Mondays through Fridays, 1 hour each trading section. All right, so this is Euro JPY, and also let me emphasize on the need for having a particular currency pair. The need for having a particular currency pair, it helps you a lot. In fact, there's so much information out there. But what works is what works for you. All right, there are a lot of factors you want to consider, but then I want to categorically say that choosing a particular currency pair you trade also helps you gain understanding and mastery quickly. A lot of trading or educators would oblige, and some will argue against this. But whichever way, it just doesn't matter. All that matters is that you have your results. And all that matters is that you're growing. All that matters that your result is consistent. So that's the major important thing we must adhere to. So I personally have a particular currency pair I trade in Mondays to Fridays, and that is Euro JPY. I trade this time frame on 5 minutes, but as you can see my screen, I have 15-minute time frame. I have for 30-minute time frame, I can swing in and then look at what's going on in some of those larger time frames. And I also have up to 1 hour time frame. In fact, my analysis begins from 1 hour time frame. I analyze the market from 1 hour time frame. I try as much as possible to get in my levels at the 1 hour time frame, or I can also do that at the 15-minute time frame. It starts from as large as the 1 hour time frame, and then we roll it down to 5-minute time frame for entries and execution. All right, so this is what we're looking at here. EJ for 5 minutes at 7 towards to 8 o'clock a.m. respectively. So if you looked at this this chart, it has a lot of support and a lot of resistance. We can spot some levels of demand, and just above here we'll have some levels of supports. That's because my analysis, my trading psychology or trading analysis has a lot to do with supports and has a lot to do with resistance. So understanding that, I will talk about, I don't want to talk about all of those in details. Our mentorship section explains all of those in details. In case you're not yet to join the mentorship sections, we are open to letting you sign up. So this is EJ, and then this is another thing before we get deep down into this. We take some trades according to timings. That is, I have a really peculiar system I trade, and those areas, those levels are backed up with a lot of disciplinary measures. So I don't enter any market situation I find myself. We trade here in minutes, and we trade in 15-minute intervals. What I mean, we execute trade, or we enter trade at every 15-minute interval. So I wanted to look at this. So that means if I'm going to start my execution at 7 o'clock a.m., I'm going to have one execution at 7 o'clock. I'm going to have another execution at 7:15. I'm going to have another execution at 7:30, another execution at 7:45, and then the final execution at at 8 o'clock a.m. So that's how it's going. So that means my execution must have started at around this. This was my first execution. All right. But then during our analysis, we had all of these levels analyzed. You see some levels where we had some green horizontal lines, blue horizontal lines, white horizontal lines, and other colors of lines. They have important meanings and significance they play. Nothing on this chart is useless or irrelevant. They all are very important. But if we draw analysis around all of these levels, you would notice that majority of those levels, price respected and rejected, some we broke, and I will also know the major reasons for its breakaway or its breakout. So this is our first execution was around this point. Remember, this is a review section on execution, review section on the executions. So right, we're trying to find the meaning behind each execution and the results that followed after it, and then look for a better way to understanding the market reaction the next time. So firstly, there was a level at this point. If you look at, there's a support, and this sorry, I beg your pardon, there's a demand, and this demand level is not rooted on 5-minute time frame, but this demand level I think is cashed, I think from up to I think it's up to 30-minute level. You see that demand level, a cut is a 30-minute demand level. So that means it's a strong demand level at 30 minutes. All right, we're on the 30-minute time frame. At 30-minute time frame, we have this demand level playing out right at this point. So on the 5 minutes, we already know that we have a demand level. So we watch this price, all of this price, play the right here, and then established a base. If you look at this particular area, you find out that there is a base around this level. There was a base around this level. So when we spotted that base, we knew that buyers are obviously taking over the market, because you notice that all of these levels were an obvious downtrend. All of this level was an obvious downtrend. I think I should use words because this is in the past right now. So all of this was an obvious downtrend, signifying that sellers are in control. Oh my God, I think I took off my base. Signifying that sellers are in control. I'll just put that back. All right, so let me just get back the base, the demand level. We spotted that demand level around the 30 minutes level, and that's it right here. So this was the level we spotted at demand level, right? So I'm gonna make that, I'm gonna keep this level as white. I'm gonna keep it white. I'm gonna make that color white, right? So I'm going back to our execution time frame. That's 5 minutes. All right. So we're back to our execution time frame, and then here we'll have. So if you're looking at this, you find out that there is a base signifying that what buyers are in control right now, and this base happened at a significant price level, that is at around 750 levels, and we call these levels large quarter point levels, and they are really, really significant price levels, very significant price levels. If you follow that training on transaction, you should understand what I'm trying to explain right at this point. So you saw how that happened, and then after that, after the base was established, there was an engulfing backhand right here. There was an engulfing backhand right here. I'll broaden this a bit. There was an engulfing right here, and then we already know what an engulfing bar, especially if it is happening around the base, right? And this is a bullish engulfing. It happened at this point, signifying that buyers are obviously right on. So due to that, there was a transition above. Buyers struggled, buyers effortlessly took price from the first large quarter points directed to the ending or trying to complete a large quarter point above. Then we made an entry right at this point because this is 7 o'clock a.m. We made our first entry, and then I'm trying to explain the reason for each entries and why we took or why we lost an entry if there is any loss in an entry or execution. So right at this point, I believe we were considering one, that buyers were in control, and two, buyers had a base to rest. After price broke, we call this level the undershoot. We call this level the undershoot. That is from 159000, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 159000 and 159897975. That is 25 pips below the important price levels. We call those levels overshoot levels, and they are really, really important price points. All right, so price broke into those overshoot levels, and then there was a base for it to land right at the undershoot, So it rested at that point, and then it continued afterwards. All right, so all right, so right at that point, so right there, we've got a really base, right? So we had a base. So that played a role. That helped buyers to really continue on the transaction ahead along those levels. So that is for, and then we took that for a buy. Of course, we took that for a buy, and then that's that area. So we had another levels at 715, right at this point, right? This is 715, right at this point. And we took this level also for a buy because one will have a zeal or a willingness. Price broke the previous levels. If you're looking at this level right here, the blue line was once the buyer's level. So obviously price broke that level and gave also a reliable base. If you understand what I mean by reliable base, there was no significant effort from the sellers rather, to pull in this price down. So we took it lower, and then of course it ended up that. So At this level, you find out that price buyers showed a lot of strength, pulling price all the way and all the way around these levels. You saw that big push, this push right there. It's really a powerful one. But then one thing that is important to notice right at this point, this price met a reliable resistance. I keep mentioning the importance or the significance of large quarter points. They're really, really powerful, that you should always watch out for. Really powerful. So right here, it happened at this point. Price came right there. And of course, there was a rejection right at this point. Price collapsed to a bit. It dropped, runs to another level, but then buyers were still willing to put price back up from where it began. All right. So right here, we already had this peak level. That is, you can also call it supply level already. I think this supply level originated from, I think, a 5 minute, 30 minutes entries, or 20-minute time frames, and a 1 hour time frame. Here we'll have a bearish engulfing bar forming a base or forming a peak for us. So we picked that for a supply level. Price approached around those levels on the 5 minutes. You saw how that happened right here on the 5 minutes. Price approaching that level on the 5 minutes, and you saw how it dropped heavily. So we didn't grab this entry because we were waiting for an entry higher as our rule demands. Remember, one thing about rules, your rules are sacred. It's better you don't even make that money out against your rules. So we're waiting for an entry to give us a higher entry from the previous close, but there was no recording on that. So of course we had to let that price trade on. So a similar thing happened on the 8 o'clock. On the 8 o'clock execution right here, right here, right at the base. You see that base are really important. They are reliable support levels. They are reliable. If some levels has the ability to put price. So look at what this level did at 250 level. We also call this level the large quarter point. It rejected this price right at this point, and boom, there was a reversal. All right. So if you notice closely, our review sections only collects everything we did or we analyzed, or at least the important things we analyzed on our trading time frame, and trying as far as possible to bring it into light. I need to understand that trading requires a lot of patience, effort, dedications, and commitments. Nothing is free, not even in the financial market. Even the free money is not free. You have to work for it by being so disciplined at what you do. I'll see you guys on tomorrow's review section, but for now, it would be a goodbye until tomorrow. If you've not subscribed to our channel, please do share our videos, like, and we're going to see you tomorrow. For now, bye for now. I am Bright.